false 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
Andrew, one day you gotta teach me
They
this.
call themselves the Bad Batch.
It's not incredibly hard.
Just do the drums.
Well, I can do the drums. I don't need teaching for that.
Yeah, you guys should just record together.
Be cool. And
Live and drums.
Tan on bass. That'd be fun.
I'm down.
I do triangle.
Ooh.
No. Riley
flute,
does
flute.
triangle.
You gotta hit that flute, Jeremiah.
Yeah, you gotta be a
Those high,
flautist.
those high riffs.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another stunning episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew.
And we are back with Bad Batch, Season 1, Episode 8, Reunion.
Yeah, so it's like a reunion because we haven't
Ooh.
really seen each other since Tuesday.
I know
Yep.
one extra
We're-
day kind of stressed
we're
me out.
Day late, but not $1 short. So
Not an imp coin short.
there's that
Or
too.
credit. Or credit short.
That's true. If this is a spoiler for later in the episode when we talk about social media, but if you want to know what imp coin is,
Stay tuned.
the special currency that can only be, it's not good for anything, but it's fun, and it can only be found in our Discord. So if you want to know more information about that, stay until the end, and we'll talk about it.
All right. So we'll probably just jump right into this episode because it's
It's a
a
banger.
doozy. It's a banger.
Yeah.
So, what was your overall thoughts of this episode?
Drew, I'm gonna let you go first because it's fresh. We just finished the watch party. He's still probably freaking out.
I'm still processing the whole thing.
Yeah,
Let's
so go
just
ahead.
say, like, if Andrew wasn't with me, I probably would have teared up a little bit with that reveal at the end. Like, it was. I mean, Andrew saw my reaction.
Yeah.
I muted Andrew.
Which, by the way, we're just gonna go ahead and say spoilers.
Oh, spoilers.
This is kind of self-explanatory, but I want to be able to say Cad Bane right now. Let's just clear the air.
Why didn't you push the button? The spoiler button.
Yeah, I thought we have a spoiler button.
Yeah,
Don't,
don't
we
we
have a
have
Because I
spoiler button?
said spoilers.
Yeah, but you should still hit that button.
Okay. Well, you know what? Next time.
Next
I'll
time.
do it next time. I'll get it next time.
But yeah, well, that happened, and I was freaking out, and I like. So if you guys don't know, the way I watch it, if Andrew's watching with me, I can't have the sound on my computer, so I have one AirPod in and I'm watching on my phone. Well, my phone internet didn't connect for some reason because it's stupid. So I had no sound during this whole beginning. So I was like, Andrew, I'm muting you because I need to watch this scene because it was working literally up until they showed the ship with all the dead clones, and then my phone froze. So then I couldn't actually hear Cad Bane's talking or anything like that. So I was like, I need to mute you, Andrew, so I can actually hear and not get pulled off of YouTube. So that happened. It kind of took me out of the moment a little bit, but besides that, it was amazing. I'm so excited for Cad Bane to be in this. I never would have thought that was going to be a thing. His hat seemed a little smaller. Jeremiah, did that stick out to you at all, or was that just me?
I did. Some other people that were talking about on YouTube mentioned it's a different hat, but I
Okay.
wouldn't have noticed.
It
I
seemed
guess it was like a little bit more floppy.
No,
It
it
wasn't
was
as- it
just not
wasn't
as
as-
long.
It's a completely different outfit.
Well, the outfit, but the hat is.
Yeah,
Different
from top
too.
to bottom. He just changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't pay
They
attention to the
changed
whole
the whole thing.
outfit. The hat stuck out to me. I was like, oh, that's smaller. Because
It is
his
smaller.
hat's normally like massive, but I'm excited to break down this episode, to say the least. I was just by far right now that blew every episode out of the water for me just because he was in it. So
Wow.
Oh.
Really?
yeah, I love
Oh.
dramatic entrances like that of characters that we had no idea was gonna be in something, and to get
Well-
them, like
Simon had the same reaction
good.
because Simon loves Cad Bane.
Cad
So,
Bane's dope.
you and Simon are kindred spirits in that sense.
Yeah, I was
So-
pumped. So
Andrew.
Yeah.
Your
No, it was
thoughts?
good. It was really good. I don't think it beats last episode for me.
True. Dang, the last episode was
Because
really
like
good.
last episode, you can't beat the emotional baggage. Because like it took this already super tense scene and just made it like 50 times deeper. It added way more depth. Now,
Yeah.
however,
The more I think about it, maybe not last episode.
yeah, I would say this is currently third favorite for me personally. So we've got last episode at number 1, episode 1 at number 2, and then this would be number 3. I mean, it's the inevitable dip in the story. You know, every movie, every TV show has one where the hero or the heroes, you know, they actually lose, and they have to come back from it, you know, in storytelling. And so this is the point. Like, we've reached that point, and you know, now getting her back, I would imagine, is going to lead them back to Camino. It's going to, you know, it's going to compile into the climax of this first season, because we're like right at halfway through now, or like a little bit over halfway through.
Yeah.
And so we're gearing up now. Like, now I would expect things to continue to get more intense until the end of the season for sure. But it was good. Like, it was really good. I think there were a lot of really cool moments in this. Obviously, the moment with Cad Bane at the end, we got a lot more in terms of like getting a sense of how the Kaminoans feel about it. You know, like, it's very clear that they have their own motives, and that they, like, even more clear that they want Omega back. So yeah, it was good. It was a really solid episode, like a really good follow up to last week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So I thought the episode was good, but like I think that, like, as much as I love the Cad Bane reveal, I think the rest of the episode was not as great as that one scene, and I don't think that one scene makes the whole episode great.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that's just me in general. Like, cameos don't make an entire episode better per se. It's just a great moment. And so like that might be my favorite moment in the show so far, because it like shocked me. Like, I was literally, when it happened, right when I saw okay, this is kind of fun. I'll just jump the gun and get to this, but like, so the same guy that does the voice for Dooku does the voice for Cad Bane. So when I heard the voice first, I was like, was that Dooku? And then when I went to the feet, I was like, no, wait, is that Cad Bane? And then I saw the hat, and then I started cheering. I was like, literally in my apartment, just like fist pumping, yeah! Like, I was excited about it, because it just, I didn't
Reminds
expect
me
it.
of bop 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 bop.
I don't.
Kevin Hart. No, it's fine. Just keep going.
Oh, I guess I know that reference now. Just to stop. But yeah, that whole scene was just great. And the thing is, like, going back, like, earlier in the episode, they mention bounty hunters plural, and I didn't catch that the first time.
Oh.
And so, like, we were thinking only Fennec was the only one in search, but they hired a bunch of people, I guess, like at least 2.
Well, she straight up is like, but we already have someone working on this, and the Prime Minister's like, I don't care. Like, we need to get Omega back, essentially. And so when I heard that, I was like, what? Huh? Is someone else gonna show up?
See, it would have been really crazy if, like, Fennec was there too. Like, like if
they're
if,
fighting
like,
over.
like when Hunter and Omega got to the hangar, and like Fennec was the one that killed everyone, and then Cad Bane shows up, and then stops Fennec, and then takes out Hunter, and then takes Omega. That would have been even
Do you think?
more intense. I think there's a lot of things in this episode that, like, could have been better, I think, and we'll get into that later in the episode. But like, that doesn't mean I obviously I love this episode, but I just think the one scene doesn't make the whole episode great.
Do you think we're gonna see Fennec at all anymore?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is. I went back to it because we mentioned the trailer last week.
Did you go back and watch it?
I did, and there's one more scene in that trailer where she's standing in like a hallway that we haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay.
At first, I thought I went back. I thought I was on Skako Minor where they got Echo because it looked like a similar like hallway, like I was turning around like a curve, but I went back and it's different windows and stuff.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, do you want to jump right into the scene by scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
All right, so starts out back at Camino. So I got excited about that, seeing Camino, because we were like waiting. When are we gonna get back on Camino? When are we gonna see Crosshair again? It's been what 4 or 5 episodes since we've seen him last.
Yeah.
And so finally great to be back on there. And so the elite squad goes into one of the, like, I guess, I don't know, whatever strategic room or whatever. And Rampart is there talking to Namasu. I'm assuming, was it Namasu or Nalase? I can't remember.
The Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Yeah.
So
raspy voice boy.
Mm-hmm.
so they're having like a discussion / argument, and it's basically along the lines that kind of seems like the Empire is taking over, like they're trying to run the facility on their own. And
They're running the facility at this point. Yeah.
And so like that was a kind of like a little like glimpse into what's happening. Like they don't go dive into it, but they gave enough just to know we were gonna expect was probably gonna happen anyway. But Crosshair comes in and says they found a Bad Batch, and Rampart's like, I don't care. Nalasu is like, I care. We need to get them back alive. And then Crosshair just says, well, we're going after him, whatever he says. But like, I don't know. There's a bunch of there's a lot of division in that room. Crosshair has his agenda that he wants to do, that he thinks is good for the Empire. Rampart's doing what he thinks is good for the Empire, and then Nala Su is trying to do what's best for the Kaminoans. So it was just a great scene of division.
Yeah.
So after that, it just goes back to Braca, and Uncle Wrecker is teaching Omega how to disarm a explosive, which was a funny scene. I liked the scene.
No,
It was
I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I was like,
and like,
they would teach her that.
well, they would have to. Like they're
Yeah.
slowly trying to, they're teaching her how to shoot her bow and doing other things. They're slowly trying to teach her because, like, she can't just be a dead weight like every time. Like that, she needs the. So every episode, she's doing more and more as a part of the group because she's learning,
Correct.
and so
Sure.
she's learning pretty fast. But it was just a funny joke that Wrecker did, that this is a live explosive and you have to disarm her or we're all dead. And so she fails, and then they run, and then it's just a smoke bomb. But I thought it was a funny scene. Would you guys think?
It is really funny.
No, I liked it a lot.
And so this next part is kind of like where I thought they could have tweaked it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So like we see from the angle of the Scrapper Guild's spying,
Yeah.
and then it jumps from the angle where we see the flicker of the scope or binoculars, whatever you want to call it. I thought it would have been better if they only showed the flicker of the scope, and then went to show them from their perspective, the Scrapper Guild. I just thought, because like we knew that they were there then, but like if we saw it from Echo's perspective and Wrecker's perspective at first, it would be like, oh, who's watching type of thing, even though we would have known who it was. But
Yeah, I could.
I think they should just tweak that a little bit. But it was really great how Echo and Wrecker just kept her calm because they both saw the flicker, and then they acted. And then they kind of went in pursuit of them. They stunned 2 of them, and I thought Wrecker was going to have a Captain America helicopter scene where he was going to like hold on to that thing and pull it down, but it kind of pulled him pretty quick. But what did you guys think when Wrecker grabbed onto that
I thought
transport thing?
I wanted him to hold on to it longer than he did, because that would have been really cool to just see his, like more of his strength.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool. But you know, it is what it is.
Well,
He flew off.
Like I thought he was gonna hold it and swing it and like throw it and like have it blow up, cause like from one angle you see that he gets it and then it kind of pans away and then goes back to him and then he lost it, you know. So I thought it panned away to show that he whipped it, you know, but he didn't. But I thought that would have been cool. But yeah, the first thing that came to my head too, Jeremiah, was Captain America, like the helicopter scene. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool.
So
I will say that the end that the guy piloting the speeder met was a lot more violent the way that it happened than if he had just swung it around. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
yeah, but
because-
the guy still survived though.
He survived, but like he got yeeted off of a cliff of junk. I mean, and wait,
He
we don't know he survived.
survived.
No,
We
he
don't-
did because when they had
Oh yeah,
three
because
bodies
they
piled
were all
up.
piled up. Like they're
Oh,
gonna wake up
well,
soon.
I
They
don't-
said that, right? Didn't they say that?
No, well, you can see it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I mean, that's rough. He could have easily just been yeeted and then done like they do in countless other movies and had like a rusty pipes just straight through his stomach or something.
But
like,
in Star Wars,
I
if
don't
you
know.
fall off a cliff, you're not dead.
yeah, falling from great heights does not.
That doesn't
You're
mean
dead.
anything. In Star Wars, it means nothing.
except for all the people who do the Wilhelm scream, I'm pretty sure those people die. There's a lot of stormtroopers and clone troopers that like get shot and fall off of stuff,
I guess maybe
or just fall off.
maybe if you're force sensitive or you use the force, if you fall off, you're fine.
All I'm saying is when he went off the speeder, I physically went, oh, like I had a reaction to it. I was like, oh my gosh, this dude
Yeah,
He's
no.
gone.
I was
He
like,
is-
all right,
blasting off again.
okay, Team
Yes.
Rocket.
So the question I had though is like, you get stunned, and we've talked kind of. I think maybe we've talked about this before, but you get stunned. Like, how long are you out? Because like they just left them there by themselves. Like, all right, we'll leave them here and we'll go in. We'll check the armory or whatever. I'm like, how long does that last? Could they like shoot him again, stun him again, and like resets, or like
No clue.
no clue?
Is
It's just
there might be. I feel like chat. If you're watching this, obviously chat, figure it out for us. But maybe there's somewhere the time like 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know.
I don't know.
Never
I,
thought
I
about
would
it.
imagine it varies from person to
I feel like
person.
Leia was out for a while when she first got stunned in A New Hope, which Jeremiah probably doesn't remember, but
I feel like she got woken up a lot. She was awake pretty easy, because like right away they bring her over to Vader and says that she's just on a diplomatic mission.
to Alderaan,
Blah, blah,
Alderaan.
blah. I
to
don't know.
blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
to Alderaan, our
But
planet that gets blown up.
I wonder if the stun thing is like you get shot once, it puts you to sleep, and you get shot again with the same stun, it wakes you up.
Probably not, because stunning. Okay, so fun fact. Contrary to popular belief, I am going somewhere with this.
Oh,
Being
Okay.
tased in real life does not knock you out.
Well, yes,
Okay.
well,
yes,
that's
yes.
different.
That's
no.
different.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. I'm
Just
actually
'cause-
going somewhere with
I was
this.
like, just because it's all blue light doesn't mean it's the same thing.
Yeah. What I'm saying is like in movies and TV, like someone gets hit with a taser or like with a stun gun, and it's like, oh, it knocks them out. So what I'm trying to say is I think stunning in Star Wars is supposed to be like the real world equivalent. Like they needed something to knock someone out without killing them, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
And whatever that would have to be powerful enough to completely override the nerve, like your entire nervous system, to knock you out and then keep you, like it's powerful enough to keep you out. So if you're hit twice with it, I don't think I just can't foresee that waking you up. You know what I'm saying? Because of the intent of it originally, I feel like it would just hit you. It may prolong it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
A little tangent, but it was very educational
Yeah, there you go.
from Professor Martin.
That's me.
Mm.
Stay tuned for E with Andrew, whenever that is. I'll make an appearance again.
But anyway, um, then it jumps to a discussion about how they need to like they still gotta get money. They need to, raid the armory so they can sell it to pay off their debt to Sid because they're still worried about that. And Echo is like, well, if we went with Rex, we wouldn't have to worry about that. Like,
Bruh, so true, man.
but what was
That was a good line, actually. I was like,
what was Echo's line? It was like,
"We're soldiers," something like that.
Well, Hunter says Rex is on a different path
Path.
than us, and then Echo's like, we're soldiers. Like, there's
What other path is there?
Yeah, like other than like fighting in a war or whatever. So
Yeah.
that was just an interesting
Yeah.
moment because I feel like Echo is like honestly like I wouldn't be surprised if Echo deserted the Bad Batch to go be with Rex.
Ooh.
Like, I feel like that could happen.
Probably not.
I feel like at one point
just
they're
because
all
of the
gonna
simplicity
join
of
Rex.
because of the simplicity of like Echo not being there in Rebels. I mean, they could explain it,
Yeah,
but I don't know. There's a part of me though that like really wishes that they had gone with Rex.
yeah,
Because like I know that they can't because there has to be the plot and Echo has to get captured and whatever. But like I feel like as a clone who's bred to fight, you don't have a purpose because the Empire takes over. And then Rex hands it to you on a silver platter. He's like, hey, not only can you fight, I'm going to give you an opportunity to fight, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to do it for good, to actually back a purpose, a glorious purpose of fighting the Empire.
Glorious
yes, that was
purpose.
intentional. It was intentional. I have been watching. I've been keeping up. Anyways, I just feel like they should have done it. I mean, it's like Rex. It's a bunch of good people for the most part, and I don't know. I just really resonated with Echo when he said what he said during that. So, anyways,
yeah. So the team they split up. Omega and Tech they go up to the bridge of the ship, and then the rest go to the armory. And so Omega finds the explosives and Wrecker gets all excited. So like I totally thought that in this episode Omega was going to have to disarm an explosive to save
Me too.
everybody. I thought that was going to happen. Like when they found that stash of the same exact explosives that was in the opening, or not the opening scene, but whatever. Like I thought she was going to have to like do it to like save everyone, but like I guess not. I'm sure it will show up in a later episode, but that was another thing. Like that was one little thing that they could have done that I thought would have made the episode a little bit better. But they find a big stash of proton torpedoes, and it was funny how Wrecker was going to try and like rip open the door, but Omega just pushed a button. I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes up to what? Oh wait, no, this is when Omega and Tech go up to the
right.
bridge.
Well,
yeah,
because Tech's already there, but then he calls Hunter.
Yeah, that's right.
And requests her help, and she goes to help him.
Yeah. So then they're up there, and Echo he's hacking in, and then wants Omega to hack in another thing to get more data from whatever thing. And so she was like, "So, what was the war like?" Like, "Oh, it was a bunch of different
So
fronts
literal.
on different things, and like of blah blah."
Yeah, he was like a bunch of battles on multiple fronts, and
Yeah.
he like literally gives a definition of the word war. And then she's like, "So what was it like?" And he's like, "I just told you." Come on.
But
I feel like I'm the most like Tech sometimes. Like
yeah, but I feel like that is him though. You know,
like,
that's his
couldn't have said it
personality.
any clearer, like
Yeah.
he says later in the episode.
Yeah,
but
that was funny.
But then a beeper goes off, a little light starts,
A beeper.
blinker goes off, whatever. I was like, okay, I knew what it meant. but
Well,
you
I
didn't
knew what
know.
it meant too.
Omega didn't know what it meant, and so Tech, dismisses it right away, and then the ships fly over. Which, like, it would have been nice if they didn't see the ships land, and like they got surrounded, not knowing they were surrounded.
Really?
Because like immediately they put up defensive things and they were able to plan it, but like because they saw it, like they didn't need the beeper or the
Alarm. The
light,
alarm.
the alarm. Sorry, they didn't need that because like it happened and they said, oh, that's probably just a malfunction, and then they see them. Well, they could have just had the ships fly over without the alarm, and
But
it would've been
maybe
the
that
same.
was a way to show that Tech isn't as wise as he is. Like it kind of
No.
dumbed him down a little bit.
Well, I didn't dumb him down. He just didn't expect there to be a ship. Like that has nothing to do with
I guess maybe.
because he's hacking into his system and trying to turn it back on. So
Yeah.
it's
He just thought it was malfunctioning, and then they saw him. He's like, "Oh,
because it would have been better if they were. I thought it would have been better if they were just doing their thing and then they had to react like right when they got surrounded or caught. But
personally, I didn't mind it, but
I literally didn't have a thought about it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say it worked better for me the way that it happened because, like, I didn't know what it was. It just started beeping. I was like, oh, it's something. Something's happening, and it was like I went along with the ride with Omega. She's like, what is this? And he's like, the proximity alarm. And then it clicked for me because I have the context of what's happening earlier in the episode, right? You know?
Yeah.
It's like I know the Empire's coming. And so for me, there was a split moment where the shuttles arrive that like the anticipation and the tension of the situation just skyrocketed. 'Cause
Yeah.
I went, oh no. Like, oh no,
Right.
they're here. And then there's a brief moment of delay and you're like, are they? And then the shuttles fly over. So I don't know. It worked for me.
it worked for me too.
Yeah.
all right, so Tech he just radios Hunter, hey, we're not alone, blah blah blah, and then it cuts to Camino, and then there's a discussion with Nala Se and Lamasu, and they're saying there's a threat to their contingency plan, and we have to retrieve it, and we already got bounty hunters out there, blah blah blah. So like that's when, like I said earlier, like they mentioned multiple bounty hunters, and it didn't even click to me. So like later in the episode, I was assuming it was
The same one,
Fennec,
Finnick.
because that's just kind of what we were expecting. That's whatever. But so that little detail I missed. Then it cuts back to Crosshair, and he's. I thought that scene was great when he's walking forward with the elite squad, and like all the troopers are standing there, and it's like this, the steam or the smoke or steam or whatever is shooting out from the ships after they landed, and
It's just haze. They have a hazer machine going.
hazer machine, fog machine.
Fog
Yes,
machine.
that's all it is.
It's fog.
It's just for it's just
Lights,
for the dramatic
you know.
effect.
Yeah, they need some like laser lights and
Yeah.
It's like
a disco ball would be
Megamind.
nice.
It's like Megamind when he uses his little robots to make all the lights and the fog and stuff in the sky. That's what they should have done. They should have put on some like AC/DC or something when he was walking down the ramp. That would have made it much better.
That would cost a lot of money to have an AC.
Well, then just get a song that doesn't have a high licensing fee, like something really obscure, but that also has a lot of guitar in it.
Andrew, are you trying to like promote you? Like I can.
Okay, I will
I'll
tell you
put my
that
music in your show for free.
that was entirely unintentional on my part. So
Lucasfilm, if you need some free music, guitar solos, we got a guy.
We know someone.
yep,
just-
if
just
you need
put-
some mediocre guitar playing, you got
Okay,
it. It's
don't
me.
undersell yourself.
Put all he would want is just his, Instagram and YouTube channel in the credits, and he'll be fine.
I mean, I would appreciate
Well,
some
and-
financial
Oh, well,
compensation.
I was gonna say also promote us or give us our website back, but
Oh yeah, that would be good too.
But anyway, so this was the whole, from this point forward to the end of the episode, it was interesting how um, the Bad Batch have their strategies on how they deal with situations,
Yep.
but then Crosshair knows how they think and knows how to predict everything they're going to do.
Yeah.
And it was kind of reminiscent of how the Separatists used Echo to like create a plan, and then how Cody and Rex. Well, I guess it was just Rex. Rex realized that their plans were being predicted
Yeah. Yeah.
and stuff. So it's that same line of thinking of how when you know someone so well and you're in the battlefield with them day in and day out, like how they think, how they're going to react to a situation. So this is where the Bad Batch were kind of outmatched in a sense because they were obviously outnumbered, but they had someone who thought the same way they thought. And so,
Yeah.
they made their way to the artillery deck. And so, well, first of all, there was a scene when they're walking through the hallways and, someone's coming, and they turn the corner, and the troopers just go and they just turn the opposite way without even looking both ways. Like, why wouldn't you look? Like,
I mean,
Clone
there's
troopers have a lot of
clone
tunnel
troopers.
vision problems.
I
They
mean,
were like that. They were totally like that during the Clone Wars too. They just bolted around corners.
well, yeah, but you think
no,
that
but
you
like
just,
they're
if you're searching for someone and there's a hallway to your right and a hallway
Yeah.
to your left, you at least want to look both ways before
but
you
also like
turn
I
one
think
way.
it's also to show that they're not. I don't think they're all clones anymore.
No. They are at this point.
They're still clones.
Yeah, they should be. It's only like
Oh.
we're probably only like 2 months into the thing. Now there was one point where I thought one of the troopers was a female, but I think it was just the elite squad voice.
It was.
Yeah.
It was the elite squad. Yeah.
Okay, because like when the person was talking, it looked like it was a white armor, but it was like in the shadows, so like it was so gray. It's like
Yeah.
I was kind of like, was that one of the elite squad people, or was that a
Mhm.
female trooper? But I think it was just the elite squad. But they make their way to the artillery deck, and I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but that same like room, the artillery deck, was in that Clone Wars arc with the droids in it with Meeber Gaston. Like when one of them, like one of the droids, like sacrifices their lives and they get sucked out into hyperspace. It's that same artillery room type of design. So I was like, it took me out
Oh.
for a second, like they've been here before, the type of thing. But
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's also the same setting as Revenge of the Sith in the beginning. When the two ships fire on one another, there's a shot of that artillery deck in the movie of a artillery deck.
Yeah.
So
but immediately when they're in there, just for a few seconds, they're immediately swarmed by the troopers, and so it escalated really quickly. I thought it was going to be a little bit more cat and mouse for the episode, but they were found really quick. And Hunter and Omega, they're trying to plead with Crosshair, and it seems like the two troopers. I can't remember because I have to look. But were the two troopers behind him elite squad members, or were they just
Yeah.
regular troopers?
I don't remember.
They were
But, like,
I was just focusing on Crosshair the whole time.
no,
Yeah,
they
I
were
know.
because their armor was slightly darker too.
So you think it was elite squad?
I think it
the
was.
people either way. The point I'm making is the people behind Crosshair, they were kind of looking like their mannerisms was like they were thinking and like, wow, that's an interesting thing that we're learning. So like I didn't know if that was like two clone troopers that like their chip was fading off, like it's wearing off, and they were like actually thinking about it, or if it was elite squad.
I think it was Elite Squad. I think their armor and stuff looked slightly darker, and they're supposed to like stand out to us a little bit more.
Right.
Granted, I saw this once, so could be wrong, but I thought they were Elite Squad.
Yeah, and so while this conversation is going on, Tech has Echo hack into the artillery computer, whatever, to revert power to there, so they can shoot him, so that the ceiling would fall.
Now the whole thing collapses
Well,
Mhm.
because Echo's like, doing that is going to collapse the entire deck. And Tech's like, exactly.
Well, I thought you just said just the ceiling because that's what they showed, but then eventually everything.
No, they said the
collapsed.
deck.
Yeah. It was the whole thing.
They said it's gonna collapse the whole deck, and then he said,
Unless
"Yep."
the deck was the ceiling. I don't know.
No, they were standing on the deck.
But the camera went multiple times to the ceiling though. That's why
But like it's the whole thing. Like the artillery deck is like the entire room.
right,
Yeah.
but they still got up after it collapsed and walked away from it, so the floor was still there.
No, they fell. Pretty sure they
They
fell.
did fall. They did fall through the floor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. I didn't catch that, but anyway,
No one caught anything in that scene. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Except for large chunks of metal. All right.
okay. Well, anyway, then there's still before they blow up or whatever. When Omega and Hunter are still pleading with Crosser's like, basically whatever. It says aim for the kid, and that was just like what? So like immediately, what's the objective for Crosshair? Because obviously he wants to kill the Bad Batch, but like, does that mean he doesn't know a significance of Omega, so he's fine with killing, or is he see her as a threat because he does know, or
I don't think
what?
he knows. I don't think anyone outside of the Kaminoans know. I don't think they've allowed that information to get out yet because she's their contingency plan.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
she's referred to in this episode as the contingency plan. And so, because we all know the bounty hunters aren't after the Bad Batch, they're after her.
Right.
So,
But he
I
still
don't-
had a interaction with her where she shared about herself. Well, obviously she didn't share that she was a contingency
Yeah,
plan,
but
but she's
I don't
like, I
think
shared it with
I
you
don't
in the
think he-
brig. Like you knew about the biochip, like
yeah.
because unless
Well, but-
unless the whole point
but
is
that
like from
could've-
last episode where Wrecker's like conspiring with traitors. You know, you're guilty and you need to be executed. And that's that same thing where she's siding with traitors, and so then he just automatically wants her killed. It's just his programming to have her killed.
Yeah. I mean, I think if he learned anything from the conversation in the jail cell, it's just that it just confirmed that she was a medical assistant. Like, I don't think anyone, including the Bad Batch, understands her importance in its entirety yet, except for the Kaminoans.
Right. But when the artillery goes off, like this is like the first of like a few times where Crosshair just gets wrecked.
Yeah, he does.
Like it was like I was like shocked. Like I jumped back like when they blew it because it was just so intense. I just thought it was gonna be like boom, and then like things were gonna start shaking and falling and whatever. Like they got flown back, and you could like almost feel it. Like it was just crazy. And then everyone just starts shooting and running and hiding, and
Yeah.
Omega gets her first kill, that's exciting, right?
Yeah, that's one word for it.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the psychological trauma that causes later.
I mean, she is 10, so she's an adult,
Okay.
right?
Nope.
So someone said
This
that
isn't
like,
Pokemon. This isn't Pokemon rules.
oh, that's fair.
This is very different.
Unless
Someone said that
contingency-
earlier too in the chat, like, "Oh, Jeremiah's just gonna overpass that. A 10-year-old's learning how to disarm bombs and become a
they're
soldier."
teaching a 10-year-old
you
how
know.
to be a soldier.
But you know,
But maybe because she's a contingency plan of some sort that she's bred to be a warrior, maybe she's just programmed not to have psychological damage from or PTSD from killing. But
that would be interesting.
we don't know.
We
don't
we
know.
hope.
Well, or
Um,
not. It's okay. She's
but-
clone at the end of the day, so
Yep. And so it was funny how Wrecker throws two people off the side of the out of the artillery deck, which is just funny because he's so scared of heights, but has no problem throwing people from heights.
he's scared of him
Yeah.
because he's learned what it looks like when you fall from him, because he throws people from them.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be what
What I do.
I do to people. what did you guys think of him throwing that proton torpedo at the flame?
I thought it
trooper?
was amazing. Bullseye.
I was really hoping that
It
it
was
was going to explode.
Because a proton torpedo, it's just like a EMP, right? It just disables ships. Is that what that does?
No, proton torpedoes blow things up.
It's a bomb.
Or is it the ion torpedo?
Ion
Ion.
torpedoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, proton torpedoes are very destructive
Well,
in nature.
you wouldn't want that to blow up because that would kill everyone.
would
in the
probably
whole
kill
Yeah,
ship.
it would kill everyone. It would just kill.
At that close
Do you see how
proximity,
big that
It
thing
wasn't
was?
that close.
20 feet
because
away.
He
If
hit
that
the
was-
guy, and
if
the
a
guy
bomb
went
that
into the. He went into the hallway. It could have blown up in the hallway.
Okay, but if that big of a bomb, only has a blast radius of like 10 feet, like
No.
it's a weak bomb.
That
Like
thing was
those,
huge.
those small charges that they collected did bigger explosions than.
True.
I said.
I'm
what I
saying
said.
if that went off,
Granted, it is a cartoon.
it would have blown up and it
so-
would have went straight to credits, written and directed by Dave Filoni, and it would have been the end of the season. Like
Cat Bane
don't
just
think it
standing
would've
there
been
like,
that
Cam
wait,
Bane's
no
like,
one's coming
"Where's that
here?
girl showing up? Like, what the heck?
No one's coming here at all? Interesting.
But so they get out and they enter into the ion engine shaft or whatever to escape. And so while they're doing this, Crosshair Ray in like, get a ship here. I need a whatever, blah blah. And so it jumps on a ship, and they're going through the engine, and we all knew that they were going to turn the engine on, right? Like it was all expected at all you.
I mean, they kept
Expected
showing it, and I was like,
I
I figured it was
I-
gonna happen. Something.
I didn't think it was gonna happen until Crosshair started shooting at them, and then I knew
Right.
they were trapped.
Right.
See, I figured something was gonna happen because they kept showing the engine, and I was like, Andrew, that's the engine, right? And then you're like, yeah, and I was like, Like I kept thinking in my mind, like I feel like something's about to happen. Like why do they keep showing this engine? And then they talk about it a little bit too, and then I
Text
was
like, yeah, this is able to withstand, but and then like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't care. Or, Shut
Yeah.
up, let's go. Let's keep going.
yeah.
That was funny. Poor Tech. But it was interesting how I was surprised that Crosshair missed. You think that he would
Yeah, that kind of
at least hit Echo where he would have got hit in the arm or something.
or
at least.
graze him or something.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that was kind of interesting that he did miss. And then they showed his angle too, and they could see, like he saw another person too, and he didn't shoot yet. It was very interesting. Like his shot's not as good as.
I wonder if that had to do with one. It was a warning shot to let him know that he was trapped. Yeah, Sasha in the chat just said, I think he did it on purpose. And I was about to say that, like, there's some people that just want to get the job done. And then there are some people, like many anime villains, that want to, like,
They kind of want
rub
to
it
play
in.
with their food a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. They play with their prey first. And I think that was his way of saying,
I got you.
I've got you trapped. Like, maybe with the intention of allowing them to surrender. Because
Still think he was gonna kill them though, wasn't he?
He was, but then if he's presented with an opportunity, because like he's still Crosshair.
Is
Like
he
I
though?
still think there's a part of him that is conflicted.
really,
It's small. It's very, very small. I still think there's a part of him. Maybe he's not conflicted, but he's at least aware that, like, sure, they're traitors, but they were still his brothers.
really.
I think it's extremely small, but I think it's there. I think it's the one thing that kept him from just ending Hunter right there. But what I think was happening is he was like showing them his cards and showing them that they're trapped and being like, "Yep, you come out, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm actually gonna shoot you, and if you stay."
Like
You're
he
gonna
showed
get
his hand, he
burnt
had
too.
4 kings, but they didn't realize that they had 4 aces, and they're about to burn the crap out of them.
Yep. That's it.
Oh, okay.
All right. There it is.
So the engine starts to turn on, and the trooper in the bridge, he's just going crazy typing along all those buttons. You'd think they would just have like a key to turn the engine on, but like,
That's a big engine.
yeah, you just have a key, and then the computer just turns it on for you. Like, it's all push every single button in the book to, I don't know.
There's a lot of things you have to turn on for an engine that size, though.
True.
That's why
That
you make,
engine was like a
make
size
one
of
key that just
buildings.
does it all for you, because it's for instances like this where you need to turn the engine on right away that they should have
That's true.
planned
That's-
for.
You're not wrong.
But so it was just gradually getting more and more intense because I guess with the exhaust out of the engine was getting bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, and so they had to come up with a plan right away. And so Wrecker suggests Plan 7. He says that, and Tech says like, no, that's not going to work or whatever.
It doesn't
And then they
work
say
for. It's
use
not relevant.
explosives.
Well, he said it's not relevant for this mission.
He's
Yeah,
like,
so-
it doesn't even apply to this mission.
Yeah, that's
So
what he said.
I want to know what Plan 7 is. Do you think we'll get that later in the season?
I
Maybe.
could have sworn Plan 7 was in episode 1 of Clone Wars season 7. I remember that being an odd number. I could be wrong,
Interesting.
but
Chat,
might
help
have
us
been
out
the
if
same
there
thing.
was
I don't
already.
know.
So I do. Yeah, you are right that I think in that Clone Wars arc, he said something like we gotta do Plan 7, or he referred to something they did in the past.
Yeah.
Chat.
I don't know, but what's the chat saying, Drew?
Oh, they just said 7 is odd.
I learned one thing in school. But really quickly, do you know what else I learned?
I'm sure you're gonna tell us.
How absolutely incredible Wesley Andrews' coffee is.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a lesson I've never forgotten since first learning it. And
It's a good
I'm
lesson to
here-
learn.
I'm here to spread the knowledge.
Ooh.
And it
Teach
just so
us.
happens that Wesley Andrews is also the sponsor of today's episode, and we have a message queued up right now for you to listen to get a little bit more information about them. So let's just go ahead and take a listen.
Hit it.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor for today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Andrew, did you get your
Don't know anything
package?
about Wesley Andrews?
No.
You definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee
I love
roaster and
how
shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they
It
make
went all the way to
fantastic
Florida.
coffee. The awesome
Like,
thing
it
is that
got
they
to
have a
David.
subscription
It went
service that
past
gets those
me.
amazing
Oh,
coffee
David got
delivered
his?
to your door
Yeah, David got
on an
his,
either
but I
weekly,
checked my
bi-weekly,
mailbox and it's not
or
there.
monthly basis.
I was really sad.
Unfortunately, we're all being negatively affected by
Maybe
these
your
stories.
delivery driver is a Empire
That being
Radio
said, what a
fan
better
and
time
thought
they
to
it
stole
was
it.
and support a local
it
business.
was
Maybe.
Wesley Andrews.
I know they'll greatly
That'd be
appreciate
kinda
it, and
interesting.
we will too. After all,
Dude,
using the code
USPS has been
Empire
all over the
Radio
place, though.
with a capital E
True.
and a capital R
That
with
is
no
weird that
space
he got
at
his
checkout.
before you.
When you start a new subscription,
Or you guys didn't get it,
Wesley
like, the same
Andrews
time.
Well,
NCC,
Florida is a
you'll
bigger
get 50%
avenue
off
of
your first purchase.
delivery. Like
That's
I
fair.
can't think of a better deal.
North
Get
Carolina,
50%
I
off.
They were
North
both
Carolina.
2-day
Support your
shipping,
local
so
Minneapolis
and I
coffee
shipped
shop
them out on
and
Wednesday,
support
so
your
you
favorite
should have
Star Wars
got it.
podcast. In the words of Emperor
Riley.
Palpatine,
Oh, Andrew
Do
didn't
it.
get his 10 pounds of raw beef either. Nope. Do it.
Do it.
Get a subscription. It helps us out. Helps out Wesley Andrews. Both of which are good things.
And it will help you out if you drink it.
It will.
Ooh.
Yeah. Unless you drink it all at once.
Jeremiah, I
Which-
see what you did there.
And yet he won't try it.
Well, he doesn't need the help.
But I don't.
That
drink
some
coffee,
people
so
need.
It's not
Mm.
Wesley Andrews specifically.
True. It's not a hate on us. It's a hate on all coffee in general. So.
Yep. You got it.
I love how
So-
the Twitch chat right now is going off about how just the sheer humor of the fact that Wrecker just threw a freaking torpedo at this one trooper. Just he had all the other options.
Well,
And
he
could've picked up-
was like bullseye. Like he was super pumped that he did it too.
yeah, yeah. Could have used anything else in his immediate surroundings, but he chose to throw a freaking torpedo.
Yeah, but then you have to like set it down and then pick
That's
something
true.
else up and throw
That's
it. So
true.
it's like
Yeah.
you gotta save time to. You don't got time to goof off. So
True.
And Daddy Pop says, "What are you going to do after the pandemic? Because it's basically mentioned, and you're going to have to record." Fun fact: I have an alternate version that does not mention the pandemic. So
So
Maybe
whenever
we got
what up?
one of these days, you guys are gonna be singing along while he's doing his
Mhm.
commercial, and it's gonna be different lyrics next time. So
Yeah.
Mhm,
you're not going to be able to do your karaoke.
Yeah.
It actually is pretty much the same, except it just doesn't mention the
Just
pandemic.
don't tell him
but-
that. Mess him up.
Oh,
once.
that's fine.
that's kind of funny because like if we ever have an Empire Con, we'll do karaoke one night, and everyone's gonna choose the Wesley Andrews ad.
Get to practicing.
Yep. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Yes.
Bad Batch. So they decide they're going to blow up the ring around the engine and drop from the sky in hopes of surviving. Which
Yep.
it really is your best and only option. You can't stay there.
Yep.
You can't wait it out,
Yep.
and you can't run for it because
Yep.
you're surrounded. So that's what they had to do. They just put explosives that they stole from the armory and put it around the whole ring and exploded. And that explosion was really good animation, I thought.
I mean, the whole thing, the whole episode, this whole
Dude,
section is
Any
was
pan
phenomenal.
out onto like them, it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And so then it starts to fall and it redirects the engine exhaust,
And this is when
and Crosshair gets wrecked.
Literally.
he's no longer Crosshair. He's Crisp Hair.
I was gonna say he's Two-Face from.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Well, Simon
I
said Crisp Hair.
Chris hair. I
Crispy-
said
crispy
want to be Vader.
Well, he's actually Dengar. This is actually
Dengar.
Dengar's
That's
backstory.
at the end of the
Oh,
episode. He's
true.
Dengar.
Yeah.
True.
But-
True.
Technically, we did see Dengar in the Clone Wars, so it's not
Oh,
the same
yeah.
person.
Did he have an
Yeah,
eye
well, it
patch
should
too
have
at the
been.
end?
He had a breathing mask, and then he had one eye, I
his
think,
whole,
covered.
I mean, his whole face was covered pretty much.
Yeah.
except
Yeah,
for
he
where
had
the
one
studs-
eyeball shown. But
Yeah.
wait, does he look with which eye does he look through with?
I
when he
think the
shoots?
one that it wasn't covered.
He's
I think he's
left-handed.
Oh, is he?
He's
Yeah.
what?
I think he's left-handed.
Chat, help us out.
So
Or maybe
if
he's,
you
maybe he's not.
I think he's right-handed. I'm
So-
pretty
He's
sure.
So when you're right-handed, you look with your right eye.
Correct.
Correct.
Right?
I think
It-
he can still use his scope.
Yeah, because
Either way, they stole this from my fan fiction. He lost an eye in my fan fiction, and he
Okay.
lost the eye here.
True.
This is getting crazy.
This is kind of getting freaky. I do have to agree with you that it's a little freaky. And you know what? If you lose an eye in Star Wars, I don't think you walk around with the eye patch. Probably get a fake eye, which you called. So
Yeah, and later, or earlier on in the episode, when we see Rampart arguing with one of the Kaminoans about the Empire taking over, that was in my fan fiction too, about the Empire taking over Kamino. Like, it's, I just can't. Like, basically, if I were to like binge write season 3 of my fan fiction, we already know how Bad Batch is gonna end. So it's like there's no
well,
point in
maybe you
watching
should
Bad
just
Batch.
do
That's
that.
that's a bold claim, actually.
And you know what? I'm with Jeremiah on this one. So Disney, stop stealing our content and let us steal yours, and then we won't have any more complaints. You know, tomato, tomato. Like,
Or just give us full-time jobs at Lucas, and we'll be.
or just pay us to do this show, and we can just put the Disney logo on the bottom right of the screen. Either way, Disney.
Yep. All right. Yep,
Call
there we
us.
go. Figured it out. There it is.
Let's see what else. So they fall, and so they fall. So it separated into 2 rings. Is that what happened? Because one ring went one way and the other ring went the other way, and that's how they got separated.
Yep. I don't know. It just fell and they got
I
separated.
thought it
That's
just,
all
like-
that's all I caught.
Well,
Yeah.
because Wrecker and Omega got separated from the rest of them. So I think it fell into 2 rings, and there were just one ring went one way, one ring went the other way, and so Hunter and Omega, I think, were rolled closer to their ship, and so that's why they got there first. So Crosshair, he's almost laying there dead like, and a trooper clone trooper lands is like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Get whatever, turn the ship off," and blah blah. And so then one of the troopers starts radioing to the hangar where what's the name of the ship? Havoc Marauder.
Yeah, the
it?
Marauder.
H&M.
Yes.
And so he's like, "Trooper, are you there? Come in." And it shows the trooper, and then it goes sideways.
Dude,
like it rotates.
that scene was so pretty. Like that. Oh,
This
that was
whole
so
scene
dope.
coming forward is just intense
Woo!
because you see him Lander dead. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then I see all the other ones dead. I'm like, uh-oh, Fennec is here. And you see Hunter and Omega, come over the ledge,
Mm-hmm.
and they meet like, something's not good. Someone's here. And then we hear the voice. And like I said, I immediately thought of Dooku. I'm like, there's no, what is Dooku doing here? Like, because it's the same voice actor that does the voice. And so,
Interesting.
and it's
Well,
funny,
he's
the
also-
same guy that, yes. So the same guy that does that voice also does Zero, the Hut,
Mhm.
which is just funny that he has those two crazy intense voices and then this redneck slug voice. Like, it's just interesting.
I love Zero.
Redneck?
Well, he lives in like the swamps on that
No,
planet.
no. That's different. Zero's voice reminds me more of like a deep Louisiana accent.
Yeah.
Is it the swamp bayous? That's like Louisiana,
It's not,
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
but
redneck,
it's not
though.
redneck though.
Yeah, redneck's
guess-
a little different.
I guess I don't know my southern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's-
it's
there's
definitely
some
like a
subtleties.
Louisiana, like
So-
New Orleans vibe.
Okay, Andrew, what kind of redneck are you? What would you?
I'm not a redneck. Thank you.
Oh, so not everyone from the south is a redneck?
No.
No,
Oh, okay, okay.
no.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, if anyone
well.
didn't know, not everyone from the and we aren't all stupid.
Keep
Well,
going.
so
There's
I
more.
wasn't gonna go in that direction, but anyway.
I'll just cover my bases just in case someone else
Okay.
decided to say something.
So my question is, when we hear the first line from Cad Bane, did you know it was Cad Bane right away,
Yeah.
or did you have to wait till saw
No.
the pan up?
No, I recognized his voice.
Drew?
Unfortunately, I didn't hear the voice right away, so I didn't know it was him until I saw him. But
So right when it started panning up, when I saw the feet, like I was like, no, this can't be. And then it shows the hat, and then you automatically know because he has.
yeah,
the hat.
yeah.
But like this was a shocker. Like I didn't expect this
No, yeah, no.
at all.
They didn't steal that from your fan fiction, that's for sure.
But I might have to steal it from my fan fiction. But like I just couldn't believe it. Like I didn't. It never even crossed my mind that he would be in the show.
The Filoni verse is very small, apparently.
Well, there's only like 10 like big name bounty hunters,
True, that's fair.
and like half of them got killed in that one arc
True,
where Obi-Wan Kenobi shapeshifted his face. But like,
that's a good arc.
it is a good story.
But yeah, the animation of Cad Bane though was so good though.
Yeah, he's never looked better.
Yep.
It was so good.
So here's a fun fact that I didn't know.
Ooh.
So I was watching a bunch of people of like reaction videos on YouTube, and a lot of them were saying, like when they saw him, like, wait, he's alive? I'm like, why are people surprised that he's alive? Well, apparently, those unfinished episodes of the Clone Wars,
Yeah, Boba kills him.
they're technically canon still,
No,
and so
no,
like
they're
that's
not.
why everyone's saying, because they're said they're technically canon, but like they're like
Who is saying that they're technically canon? People on the internet or
various
Dave
people that
Filoni?
quoted people like Dave Filoni. Like
I-
Dave Filoni said that a while ago that these are still like canon, but they're like fake canon, but they're still canon. So
That
like
doesn't
technically,
make, that doesn't make any sense.
they're canon until they're
Proven wrong.
proven wrong or
But I feel like
contradicted.
isn't
So that
what's-
means Revan and Bane
Yeah.
both are canon, and it's not Bane.
No,
that we
because they're
see.
not in Clone.
Yeah,
Are they in
they
Clone
have
Wars?
an unfinished episode of the son going down to a cave and communing with the spirits of Bane as he was seen in his novels and Revan.
Okay, then it's
Ooh.
canon.
Fine,
You'll take that.
Revan's canon.
Well, we already knew he was canon because one of
He
the
is
ships
canon.
in episode 9 was called
So
Revan.
stupid.
Why?
He deserves better than that.
But also, isn't he in the games? And that game is
Games
considered
are
canon.
not.
No, I think that one. What? No. Okay.
No.
never mind.
Well, it would have been canon at one point, but not now. But either way, well, a bunch of people thought that he was dead, and so people think that they could use that same idea where Boba Fett. Now, I haven't seen the scene, so I don't want to like spoil too much. But like, apparently, Boba Fett kills Cad Bane, and so
Yeah,
is
that's
that 'cause-
how Boba gets the dent.
well, I know that part, yeah.
Oh, I knew
But-
that part.
But
It's the same
like,
scene.
that technically could happen in the show, where if
Ooh.
that standoff could happen.
But isn't Boba super
I-
young still?
I don't think.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
that
think that's-
episode is the same thing though,
Oh, okay.
because Cad Bane is training Boba because Jango Fett trained Cad Bane, and so he's doing it as a favor to Boba
Is
Fett.
Can you find this on YouTube?
I
These
believe
scenes.
so. I believe so.
David, help me out. Put a link in the chat so I can watch it later,
Or put it on Discord.
or Discord. But
But either way, like I didn't know that he was supposedly dead, but I didn't really think.
Well, I
really-
discounted it because it was never finished.
yeah,
You know,
for me,
Uh.
it's like if we're not getting in a book or any media, we never actually saw it, so I don't feel like that would be canon. Right? Because like it's one thing if you read it in a book that is a canon book, then you can be like, yeah, it's canon. But even some of that stuff isn't really canon either, because I mean, I'm reading the Ahsoka book and it's like kind of different from what we saw. So it's like you know what I mean? Like
well, we know that movies and TV shows override
yeah,
everything
any
else.
book or comic. So
Yeah.
which is a shame.
which it's just doing what they did with the EU, where there were levels of canon, and like if there was a contradiction, it went to the level above or whatever.
Yeah, and like I was like thinking about that too a little bit today because I was finishing the Ahsoka book, which Jeremiah, dude.
I read the opening
Yeah, but get past
Thing.
that, it gets so good. Anyways,
because I read the opening thing and it was already different than
yeah.
the clone. I'm like, this is gonna be stupid because it's gonna be.
It's not stupid though,
Oh,
because
sorry.
most of it's like not even about what we actually see. A lot of it's just her own story.
You know, I get
Yeah, it
that,
has-
but
So like,
it's like literally the first page, it's already contradicting canon, and I'm like,
but like if you think about like any book that's written, right? There's certain things that movies will create, like The Lord of the Rings, for instance. Like the book is way different than the movie, but it doesn't mean
Oh,
it's
yeah.
wrong.
well, yeah, but
know
it
what I
doesn't
mean?
necessarily contradict. It's just they literally took like a 5,000 page book and boiled it down to like
True,
a
but
skeleton of
they
it.
could have
So,
just changed what they wanted to make it seem easier on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the Ahsoka novel was written before Clone Wars Season 7 was even announced.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
long before.
Well, yeah, it came out in
So-
2017. The book, I think, or end of 2016, I think. So,
Yeah, right.
but then that was still literally.
4 years?
But we got that first trailer for Clone Wars Season 7 literally like 3 years before we actually shot it. So it was like literally less than a year after Ahsoka came out, we got a teaser trailer for Clone Wars.
I wouldn't be surprised though if
But the
animation
book-
had the book would have been written far before that though.
Yeah,
too.
the book is when the writer
Okay,
writes
but
it,
they were
it's not.
probably working on both at the same time. And like obviously they didn't finish the book, and it's like, oh, we should do Clone Wars Season 7. Like
True, but
they're gonna be in production at the same time, and the people in the story group are working on both things at the same time.
But you gotta also think this was when Disney was all over the place.
Yeah.
The story groups
I
were
wouldn't be
not as strong
surprised
as they are
if-
now.
I wouldn't be surprised if some things fell through the cracks, or there were some
Yeah.
breakdowns in communication, or they were just
Or
like,
Dave Filoni
here's-
was like, you know
here's-
what, this seems like a better story. I want to make this version.
right.
Because
Or
I
like,
feel like
hey,
he's done
here's
that.
a general idea of what we want to be seen. Here you go. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. All I'm saying is, with so many moving parts, I wouldn't be surprised if the details, because like the same thing, the kind of general idea still happened, right?
Yeah.
Ahsoka goes, takes on Maul. Order 66 happens while they're both kind of going on. Like, sure, there's some big differences in the details, but like the general idea is still there. So I don't know.
And like I said, like most of the book is about her off-world and other worlds dealing with trying to navigate through the galaxy with the Empire and not being connected with the Force and being connected to the Force because of certain situations and trying to hide from the Empire. Like, no matter what the chat says, it's 7 out of 10. I disagree. Like, I really do like this book. I think it's really good. And I would encourage people to read it. If you love Ahsoka as a character, I think it's worth a reading.
Yeah, it does give you the whole story of how she got her crystals too for her lightsabers. So,
Anyway,
which they kept.
Yeah.
True.
But-
So,
Bad Batch and Cad Bane. So, what'd you guys think of the music?
Oh, it was amazing. It
Oh,
was
okay.
awesome.
That's
yeah,
it. Okay.
I mean that's it. Like I loved what they did.
I
It
really
was-
think the flute was really. It was amazing.
It kind of took me out of it because we've never heard that kind of music in Star Wars before. So it took me out of it for a second, but like I get the point of that music style.
Yeah.
The Western stuff. But
I think it set up. I think the contrary happened for me, where like I heard it and I'm like, yep, we're gonna have a standoff. We are gonna have a quick
Agreed.
draw standoff. Like the second I heard that, I was
Agreed.
like, yep, this is
I thought it was
Inevitable
necessary. Like, it was really good.
yeah.
I liked
So-
it a lot.
I must not understand a standoff because why are they standing there and stare at each other? Like, why don't you just shoot them? Why do you wait? Like, I don't understand the waiting.
It's a battle. It's a mental battle. It's a battle of skill. Because both of them are primed to move at any moment, and then it comes down to who can be quickest.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right,
because
but
like
I don't know.
Cad Bane is also he's a sportsman too. Like he's a bounty hunter and he's ruthless, but at the same time he also he's very skilled, and he likes proving that sometimes.
Yeah, I just don't get like why one person chooses to shoot first. Like, I don't understand. Like,
No, but it's not that one person. It's
so that it makes sense. Like, you see some of them where they're standing back to back. They take 10 paces
Threes,
and they turn around, and like that seems like that's more of a duel to me because you have to turn around at the same time, and then you take the shot, so you know. But I don't know. I just don't get the standoff things. But I'm not. It doesn't take away from the scene. I'm just saying
you're
I just
just
never understood them.
oh
Mm.
well.
And I totally thought they killed off Hunter.
I did too until I saw him breathing.
And honestly,
It would have been.
I
cool.
feel like they should have killed him off.
Yeah.
I think it would have been.
Intense.
I think that would have been really a good thing for the show to have him
Wait,
killed off.
what? No, what? Why?
What do you mean no? To
No,
show that
there-
there was. And then what's the point of the shooter? Like the standoff, like he survives, he loses, but he survives. Like that's so
Okay,
like.
but here's the thing.
It's so
We've seen
like-
Wrecker. No. Hold on. We've seen Wrecker get shot in his armor at least twice. And then look, if Hunter had died, we would have been having that conversation. We would have been like, I think it's so stupid how Wrecker got
No.
hit twice and Hunter didn't. Hunter
I've
gets
never
shot
had that.
once.
But not
Yeah,
in
he
the
didn't-
heart though.
Hunter didn't.
By
or
a
Wrecker
elite
didn't like
Bounty hunter.
And also
get knocked
and also-
out. How did
and-
How did Hunter get knocked out by getting shot in the chest?
Well, and
Bro,
the
it's the
blaster.
same- It's the same thing that happens when people get knocked out from being shot while they're wearing body armor.
It's the same, yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Oh well, it's
I mean, like,
the force behind it pushes you and knocks you out.
you can be knocked out by that impact.
Correct.
In your chest?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You can.
Like that happens all the time with people. Well, I don't want to say all the time because I don't know, but
Well,
it
I
is
know,
very
like,
physically possible because
people
the
like
force,
break a rib or they get their wind knocked out. I've heard that, but I've never heard
you
that
can
they
pass
get.
out from being in too much pain too. Like
Mhm.
everyone's different. Plus, their armor was supposedly better than clone trooper armor, so normal armor, so it would have dispersed the energy better, which means it would have
But-
automatically gone through.
Also, though, it did show the mark on the other side. When
Huh?
when he fell, it showed a red mark come out like from the other side of the back of his backpack.
I thought that was just on his chest.
No, it was on the
When he fell.
backpack.
Why would they show that?
Huh?
Well, he's laying on his side, and you see his back when Omega
Yeah.
runs to him.
And it showed the red mark. It showed a
He's
circle
laying on
mark.
his. He's laying on
So
his right
I think
shoulder.
it actually
I-
went through
arm.
him,
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. I don't know. All I know is
and it just missed
I
his
would have
main
been
organ.
frustrated. I would have been so frustrated because they've been hinting at this whole development of Hunter of like, what path are we supposed to be on? Are we choosing the right direction? And then they just kill him. Like, no, it's a waste.
It's not a waste. It would have been. I think it would have been very good for the show because, spoiler alert, we don't see the Bad Batch during the Empire, like the OG trilogy, or during Rebels, like.
Well, I
They're
mean, we also
dead by
don't see
then.
Rex, and he's in
No,
Return
I
of the
mean
Jedi.
we do see him.
We see Rex in
in-
Rebels and Return of the Jedi. So like,
Yeah, but like during the first two movies, like we don't see him during A New Hope and Empire.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
the
but
galaxy's
you really think
huge.
that the best clone troopers that they have wouldn't be at the front line of
Well,
the
sure,
Rebel Alliance?
they
Not
might die,
necessarily.
but
What
it
if
doesn't
they're
mean they're
doing,
gonna die
like,
right now.
It's like Starkiller. Sure, it's not canon, but like he was disgustingly powerful, and Vader had him doing secret missions.
It doesn't mean
Instead of
they're
being on the front
dead. It
lines.
just means that their
I'm just
characters are
saying-
written after those movies.
I'm
So
I'm just saying, I think it would have been best for them to actually kill him off. I think,
I think it would have created a really interesting story arc.
and then it also takes away from Cad Bane's skill that he didn't kill him.
No,
No,
I
'Cause he
disagree with
bragged
that.
about how you kill one and you can kill anyone. Like,
Yeah,
don't you
but Cat,
No, but
dude,
the armor
could
is
be
different.
Yeah,
The armor is different. The
like,
impact
it
is
doesn't
different.
take
like
away from the fact that his shot was spot on. Like
Well,
if it
he
was a normal
could-
clone, he would have been dead.
well, right, but why didn't he try and shoot between the armor plates?
He didn't know any. I don't know if he knew about the armor.
I don't think he knew that it's different. It looks different, but it doesn't mean it's different.
Because if you think about it, Clone Force 99 was a very well kept secret for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if he would know. Like, of course, if he saw a commando standing there or like an ARC trooper, it might be a different story. But they were not very widely known at all. So I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I would have been really
eventually
sad.
we're gonna see characters killed in this show. So
Sure.
like it would have been great if it went out this way, that the dad of the group sacrificed his life to save the daughter of the group. Like it would have been plot wise make more sense. So like maybe later in the season Hunter will die trying to protect. But I thought it would have been good. For halfway through the season we have someone get killed, I think it would have been perfect. Him surviving takes away from
I
the
think
standoff
it would have
moment
been
for me.
really cool. I do agree. Like it would have changed the theme of the show, but I keep like as much as this is not a kids show, it is a kids show. So like, I feel like they want to kill off the main character, but it does kind of bring that to arc because once Omega is awake, she's gonna think that Cad Bane killed Hunter this entire time.
Yeah.
And so that reunion is going to be really nice. We have to give it that.
So speaking of reunion, the show is entitled Reunion because of
Episode,
Bad Batch being reunited with Crosshair, but the fans were reunited with
Cad
Cad
Bane.
Bane.
Correct.
They were.
And so, anyway, so Omega thinks Crosshair is dead, she grabs her bow to try and kill Cad Bane, but then what's his droid name? Do we
I don't
know?
remember.
He tries to sacrifice his life to save his master, which
I forget
By the
his
way,
name.
I think that Hunter only hitting the droid's leg could be something that returns. I don't know how.
meaning what?
Like, I don't think it's a coincidence that Hunter, as skilled as he is, like happened to just miss Cad Bane, and then we see it like they took the time to animate it hitting the droid's leg.
Oh, and the droid literally says my leg.
My booster, yeah.
So like,
I don't know. I just think it's intentional that they did that. I don't know what it would be, but I don't think it was just a throwaway scene.
I don't think it makes it throw away without there having a extra meaning behind it.
What I'm trying to say is I think there will be more meaning behind it at some point.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
we're gonna see Cad Bane and his droid. I forget his droid's name.
I don't know.
But-
I could be wrong.
But
I've been
I
wrong
mean, we're
before.
gonna see them probably next episode. I would assume.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, we're gonna see Camino again, which is I'm down for that.
Yeah.
But like, I originally thought like I said, oh, he's dead, like he died. But then they literally purposely showed that he was breathing.
When did they do that?
It was like they pan over him and his like at the end of like that scene when he goes off with Omega, they show him and his like chest was going in and out.
I don't remember that, because if they did that, it would have been taken away from his POV scene. If they're trying to show that
I
he's
saw
still
it.
alive
I
before
pointed
that,
it out.
Like, it would make no
I
sense.
pointed it out to Andrew.
He did.
But also, we know for a fact now that Cad Bane has never watched Zombieland because he didn't double tap.
Oh,
Like,
well, it's not a zombie though.
yeah, but it's still a
it
good
only-
principle for life, though. Like,
I mean, it is for sure. Like if you're also you could have just aimed for the head, but you know, but yeah, double
is true.
tapping is a thing, but it's not zombies, so you can't get too mad at Cat Bane.
yep.
But yeah,
But so he says the line that we were all waiting for. Sorry, little lady, which he said a million times in the Clone Wars, specifically to Ahsoka multiple times, and so it stuns her, and she's taken. It goes to Crosshair getting all bandaged up, looking like Dengar. Like, so like in Discord, I'm like, Crosshair is Dengar confirmed. Like, is definitely looked like Dengar, but it's not. But so, do we think that he lost his eye then for sure?
I don't know. I
Do
don't
you
think he
think-
did.
Do you think his
he did,
getting
he's
wrecked
gonna
by
fake
the
one.
artillery shot and him getting wrecked by the engines? Do you think it messed with his inhibitor chip in any way?
I
He
literally
could weaken it.
Well, I saw him like grab his head, and I told Andrew, I'm like, oh, his chip got messed up. But then he still was giving out the same orders, so like maybe not, but like this show has done already, like the slow burning, and he told like they kept saying like, hey, you're being controlled. I'm gonna put my prediction out here right now. I think it's gonna shut off. Because they charge it. I think they're not going to charge it when they get back.
That could
because,
happen, yeah.
Like, he's going to be all messed up. And I think it might shut off. And he might help them at some point within.
Or do you think it damaged the chip so that it can't be removed, and so now he's stuck as someone under control of the chip?
I don't think. No.
Because that would, damper the Bad Batch's plans to save him if he can't be
But
saved.
there's
now.
no way to know that until he's under the knife. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So they capture him, and
That
they
would-
try to remove it, and then he wakes up.
I think Jeremiah
After
keeps
they-
forgetting that this is a kid show. I don't think they're gonna do that.
This is not a kid show. This is definitely a hardcore.
As much as I say it's not a kid show, I don't think they would capture him, do all that, and then wait, it's stuck in there. Like
I'm not saying it would be a great story when
I
they
think it would
they
be
saved him, and he
dope
wakes up
story.
and he still is trying to kill him. Like,
I think it would be sick, but I don't think that would happen.
I just think it's too complicated. I think the outcome is going to be more straightforward than that,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
I think
Just
he's
for
gonna
simplicity's
like
sake.
at a certain point they're gonna say it again, and he's gonna like have the opposite effect, and it's gonna glitch out, and then he's gonna save them last moment, and then they're gonna hug, and then they're gonna put him under the knife and take it out fully, and then they'll be good to go.
I also think that we might not see him actually come around until the last episode, and then he sacrifices himself to save the rest of them.
Ooh,
Or to save someone else.
that would be cool too.
Yeah. They get one final moment. It's like Kanan. You get one final moment of the realization of what's happening. And
R.I.P..
He comes around, and they have this moment. They have a really sweet moment together, and then he sacrifices himself.
True, that's also a kids show, so makes sense.
That's yeah.
Well,
all right.
Yeah.
So then the final scene is
The best scene in the whole episode.
really.
To me, yeah.
Oh.
Hands down. That's also the reason why, for those of you that are watching on Twitch and on YouTube, it's also the reason why I have the Clone Commandos as my background tonight. Because it reminded me of Republic Commandos, even though the heads-up display was a little bit of a letdown because of Republic Commandos, and because of reading the Republic Commando novels, which describes the heads-up display in detail too. But my concern was the fact that
his view is
that's
not
all
that
he
great.
sees. Yeah, his vision would not be that great. So,
But
I
I mean,
loved
they've
it,
never
though.
said it was. I mean,
That's
anytime
true.
I put on my Boba Fett helmet, I'm like, how the heck do you see at all?
well, you hope
but-
that there's better visibility. There's like some enhanced visibility going on with like a screen or something. Like think Iron Man. You know,
That's fair.
but
But it was really
So-
cool to see that heads-up display from a clone.
I loved that. I loved that his hearing came back gradually. It became less muffled gradually, and that you get the scene of him being taken into the ship from first person. That's super cool.
Yeah, it was really well done.
I that was okay. Like I get like the whole point is to show his perspective of him waking up in the middle of a battle, but like I wasn't really that impressed by it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I was impressed by this whole last part.
Yeah.
I was freaking out. I loved it. Go Dave. I don't know. I loved it.
But then it switches them escaping and Hunter saying she was taken by a bounty hunter and they have to find her. And
Yep.
that's how it ends. So
Yep.
that's
But
the
he is
episode.
clearly injured because they're like, take him in a hurry. Like, he's
Well, also they're trying to run.
well that
of course
too.
it's gonna be a hurry.
But
But I don't know. That's the end of the episode. What do you guys think?
I mean,
Where do
I
we go from
said,
here?
I said in the top of the thing, I love this episode. The more and more I think about it, I love last episode a little bit more because the whole Rex intenseness, and I
Yeah.
kind of forgot about it because I was so in the moment. But I mean, Cad Bane is becoming one of my favorite characters,
Yeah. For
and I mean, he's like my top 3 bounty hunters because you got Boba, you got
sure. Mm-hmm.
Mando, then you got Cad Bane. I think
Yeah.
that's how I have it, but I think it's really good. I love it. I'm really curious to see where it's going to take next week. If we're going to get Omega's perspective only, like a whole episode just her, like, or a majority of the episode. I don't think it's going to be mostly her. Clearly not, but it would be really cool if they did do that. But
It'd be cool. It'd be like in The Last of Us when it switches to Ellie.
yeah,
For like
yep,
4 hours of the game and like
yeah.
you're just wondering what's going on.
Like, I think it would just be kind of cool if they did that randomly, like gave us like one episode of just her interacting with Cad Bane, and then them landing there, and then talking. I don't know. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they do that because they spent so many episodes away from Crosshair that they would then do an episode or two away from the Bad Batch and only with Crosshair.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool. So, what do you think the Bad Batch's plan is to try and find Omega? Do you think they're going to go to Sid for help?
They'll have to. They'll have to.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm guessing they're
because
gonna.
they don't have any other leads.
Yeah, they don't have any other leads. They probably assume it is Finnick, because like that's the only bounty hunter they know that's chasing them. So I feel like they're gonna go to her.
No.
Well, Hunter would tell him.
Oh, true.
Hunter
Yes,
would tell him,
I
yeah,
forgot.
and I think
I totally
because
spaced
Hunter
that.
has a description, I think he's going to be able to describe Cad Bane to Sid.
And
Sid's going to know
gonna be
who he
like,
is immediately,
"Oh."
and then be able to hopefully get some information and lead them in the right direction.
Because I also feel like Sid is also like she enjoys Omega as a character too. Like as a
That is true.
like it seems like Sid has like a relationship with Omega. Like not the best relationship, but out of any of those clones, she respects Omega a lot as like a kid, and she said that she's the smartest one in the group. Like so maybe she might be like very helpful in this and maybe figure out other people, maybe other bounty hunters to team up to try to get her back. Be kind of cool. But it would make sense why they could figure out where Finnick is to figure out who hired her. Because Finnick was hired by the same people. So
well, I do think that Fennec is going to be part of their plan because I wouldn't be surprised if Fennec tracks down the Bad Batch thinking that Omega is still there.
Ooh.
And then they tell her that they don't have him because another bounty hunter grabbed her. And then she's going to maybe spill the beans on
also,
who hired
she also
her
had
or...
a relationship with Omega as well. Like,
yeah, but that was just her
yeah, but
manipulating her
I
to
think-
get her back to the ship.
true.
I think she'd feel bad.
But I
think
feel
she'd
like-
sad about it.
It's a kid. It's like a little different, you know, like
Yeah, but she got hired to kidnap a kid. Like
to kidnap. True.
she
Yeah.
doesn't.
That's
She
fair.
doesn't care. I don't think. But
Yeah, maybe not.
somehow they're going to use Fennec. But when we had Fennec, did she mention a rendezvous point or something?
Yeah.
Like, because if the Kaminoans hired multiple bounty hunters and they all had the same rendezvous point, maybe they could try to intercept Omega at the rendezvous point.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe there
But-
was a rendezvous point.
But I can't- maybe
trying to
I'm-
remember.
So I know last episode Rex mentioned a rendezvous point, but I can't remember if because she radioed a couple times, but
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
yeah,
But-
that's Reunion episode 8.
Reunion.
So let us know, fans, what you think of the episode, and Andrew, how can they do that?
That is a great question. Well, there are many ways, actually. There are many ways. You can take your pick. One of those ways includes getting connected with us on Facebook and or Instagram at Empire Radio Podcast. All one word, no spaces, all lowercase. Empire Radio Podcast, Facebook and Instagram. Another way would be to check out our YouTube page and leave us a comment on one of our videos. You can search YouTube, search for Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast. But the most direct, there are 3 really direct ways to get in contact with us. First is Twitch. We've already mentioned this. As we're recording this, we're actually streaming it live as well on Twitch. So that is twitch.tv/Empire Radio. That's a pretty direct way to get in contact with us. Like, for example, I have been active in the chat all night.
You
talking
have
with
been.
people. And so has Drew. Drew has been a little bit. So that is a way
More
to get in
than
contact
Discord.
with us. Yeah, much more than Discord. And so we do live stream the recordings of all of these episodes on Tuesdays for Empire Radio, our normal episodes, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Fridays at the same time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, for as long as the Bad Batch is going. And even more direct than that is a voicemail. So you can leave us a voicemail. You have up to 1 minute to leave us whatever questions or comments you'd like. And as long as it's not inappropriate, we will share it on air unless you ask us not to. We'll still answer your questions if you would like us to, but you can do so by there is a link on our underneath in our descriptions on all of the podcasting streaming services. So you can go just scroll down. If you're listening to the audio, just scroll down and click the link to leave us a voicemail. Also, if you're looking at our Instagram, and there's a link on our Twitch as well, the link in our Instagram bio is a landing page, has all of our socials in it, and there's a specific link to leave us a voicemail. And last but surely not least,
But before you move on for voicemail,
yes.
so our good friend Dengar, who sent a couple messages, if you happen to know Cad Bane, and Cad Bane wants to
Wow.
call in and leave a message,
Ooh.
That would be
I think
something.
that would be pretty cool. Maybe give a little hint on
His location.
his location, what he's doing with Omega.
Maybe how much the bounty was. That'd be really cool.
But that's only if I know you guys are in competition with each other sometimes.
True,
so
you might not. You might not have him on speed dial.
You might not have each other's phone number, but
or beeper, like Jeremiah said earlier tonight.
beeper.
But said
yep.
beeper.
But anyway, Andrew,
the most direct way to tell us what you thought or to get in contact with us in general is our Discord server. So we have a Discord. We've got we've definitely got over 60 people.
I think we're in the 80s people right now of all our people.
It
Maybe
keeps
90.
growing. Yeah, it keeps growing, and it's a party. I'm definitely very active on there as much as I can be. And there are a lot of people that are frequently active that make it really fun. We have discussions on anything and everything Star Wars. There's a ton of memes, most of which are actually really, really funny. I say it's definitely more hits than misses. So it's a party, and if you want to join that, you do need a link. But there is an invite link on our Twitch. It is also in the landing page on our Instagram bio. It is in a pinned post on our Facebook page.
And it's 93 members.
93. Wow.
And counting.
So check out our social media, the landing page that I mentioned earlier. That's going to be the best way to join. You can just click on that and join the server.
Fun.
All right.
Anything else?
No.
No.
I think I'm good.
Oh, wait.
All right,
we didn't
well-
rank it.
Oh. Uh-oh.
10 out of
You
10.
want to?
10 out of 10, huh?
10?
I mean, we said this last week, that just because we're not comparing them to each other, it could still be a 10 out of 10 episode.
That's fair. Okay. I'm
Right?
gonna go
We
with a
said that
7.5.
last week. Okay.
7.5 for me.
I give it probably 7.5 too.
So you guys have
That's a good
7 lightsabers and then Ahsoka's little one?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
fair. Well, I'm
Or it'd be 7 lightsabers and 2 of the lightsaber brass knuckles that we talked about the other day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where you can
2 of
punch
those.
through somebody completely.
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to stick with my 10 out of 10. I love this episode, and I'm super excited to watch it again. I love it. Cad Bane all the way.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool. So this has been another episode of crap, I screwed that up. We're thinking of my word to say of the episode. This has been another astonishing episode of the Bad Batch. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm
The
Drew.
Bad Batch?
Oh gosh.
Wow.
We'll start over. We'll fix this in post.
Okay. Go for it.
So this has been another episode. Oh gosh, I screwed up again. Now I'm never gonna get it. So this has been another astonishing episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew.
and may the force be with you.
Always.